Go live.
Share screen. Okay. Window.
Previously.
1, 2, 3.
X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things.
Hello and welcome to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show where we will talk about many things.
When is this gonna be over?
We're just getting started. Thanks for joining us. I am one of your hosts, Skellsbane.
Come on, you can do this.
I think I can too. And with me to help me to do it is my co-host, Cannon Bondre.
Listen to my voice. Focus on it.
No, I'm focusing. I'm locked in, baby. I'm here.
Good, let's do this. We're here to review. Well, this is X-Rated Evolution. Did I say that? No, I didn't say that part. Welcome to X-Rated Evolution, everybody. We're here to review. Well, we'll talk about this in a minute. X-Men Evolution, Season 2, Episode 2, Power Surge. Story by Greg Johnson, teleplay by Doug Molitor, and directed by Gary Graham. All right, Power Surge. You feeling powerful or surgy?
Oh, definitely surgy.
Or maybe like drop some of those letters. Purgy. You feeling like a purge?
Is it purge time already? I know. Is it the year? Can I kill my neighbor finally? Consequence free?
Look, if there was gonna be a purge, it would definitely be in February. I'm sick of this snow, man. I had enough.
Oh, come on. We barely had it.
I know, but it's like it's getting too late. Like if this was in December or January, that'd be fine.
No, this is when we get the snow. It's always February.
I know, and I hate it.
Listen, there was a whole week when I was in Mexico. I didn't see it. It was great.
Yep, I'm sure there was. Oh, I have a cat being noisy. Hey,
I had one of those too.
Yeah, well,
Let's go.
I had a baby throw Lego all over the floor, so it's just like inviting the cats to make Lego noises. Yeah. And then that very same baby headbutted me in the tooth. I hope I don't lose a tooth. I might show up with no front teeth here soon enough.
You always refer to your children as babies. What point do they stop being babies?
Probably
one of them is like 4 or 5 now, right? Or 3 or 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah, that's not baby territory. You go to school in here.
They'll
always be your babies, I know.
Exactly right. What's up? Anything new?
No, really. Just said been busy today with work and trying to catch up on some stuff. Got a couple more episodes of the old podcast done. The other one, I accidentally loaded it onto the X-Men one and then realized what I did because it's connected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, why does it say they don't have any pending episodes? Because I have a few in the hopper already, and then I looked and realized it was in the wrong one. But when I deleted it, I think you got the time back. So let me know if you didn't, but you should.
Doesn't matter anyway. But
no, it does. Yeah.
Interesting. Funny, I didn't notice it come up on my feed. It must not have even processed.
I never finished processing it. Like I uploaded it, but then I didn't publish or do all that other stuff.
Okay.
Or I schedule it for next time, but when I was starting to schedule is when I noticed that the issue was there.
So the controversy I mentioned at the top of the show.
Is it about Gaza?
No. I mean, we can get into that if you'd like, but
I mean, I think you and I are pretty much aligned, and people listening to the show are probably also aligned. So, and if you're not, well, hopefully we'll come to some local some way we can all be on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had lots of recording this past week for the show, so I got 3 episodes loaded up, which is good. So yeah, all good with that. I'm just trying to catch up on work. It's busy. You know me, I'm always doing something.
Yeah, always. Well, here's the controversy with this show. So, if you believe Wikipedia and in a couple other places, Andre and I are getting the second episode of this season out of order. or in different orders, I should say. You got it in the right order. I got it in the wrong order. So if you check it on Wikipedia, it has Power Surge listed as the second episode. And then Bada Bing Bada Boom listed as the third episode. But it has Bada Bing Bada Boom having aired a week before Power Surge. So I think that seems to be the confusion, where some places have Power Surge as episode 2 and some places have it as episode 3, because it was aired. It seems to have been aired as episode 3. So I consulted friend of the show, Stephen E. Gordon, and asked him about that. And he says he's not sure when it was aired, but he can guarantee me that Bada Bing Bada Boom was intended to be episode 3 of the season, because he directed it, and he says he directs every third episode because it gave him more time, because he was also the character designer.
Right. Oh, there you go. So my list is correct.
Yeah,
as far as we know.
Okay. Regardless of air dates, we're watching it in the intended order here. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Screw those air dates. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the score.
No.
Unlike we do.
Who's this air anyway?
All I need is the air that I breathe, just to love you.
I can hear it calling in the air tonight.
Oh man, how many air songs do we know?
Oh God, there's a lot.
Time keeps on slipping. No, the air song.
Air in that one?
I don't know if they do. Fuck. The air that I already did that one. Songs that have air. I know Air Supply, the band.
Every breath I take. Close enough.
No, come on now.
Breath, air. Hey, Lebowski. Hey, look, we got dueling kitties.
Oh, he just went down. He's sleeping on my feet. He's curling up on my feet right now.
Hi, Lulu. You're very noisy and silly.
He's a very silly kitty.
I know. Ridiculous.
It just kind of match Frodo, though, a little bit color-wise. I know. She's got way more white on her.
A little more, yeah. So, yeah. Episode 2, The Intended.
The intended episode 2, yes.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, shall we? I'll fire it up here.
All right. Well, we see Gene getting a trophy for great soccerdom, footballing, footdom by President Kelly. Footy. Everyone's there, including Rogue's on course being the standout goth outsider loner kid. That isn't happy. Her new friend, not Mystique, is also happy to see this going on. Her name is actually Misty.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's even dumber.
That they're not cluing into it.
Mystique's short name is Misty.
Yeah, but she's British now. You'd never assume.
Oh, of course, she has an accent.
And Mystique can do perfect accents too.
Yeah, because she's a mimic, a master of disguise, if you will.
Exactly.
She also got a big power upgrade at the end of the last episode.
Sure did.
That wore off for everybody else except for her for some reason.
Wonder what the consequences will be of that. Like, what can she do now? They had already had her turning into birds and all kinds of crazy things.
Cats.
Before the upgrade. So
yeah.
I wonder if they'll just forget that they even did that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Because I'll be interested to see what that upgrade could be. Or maybe it's like a scent thing. Like maybe now she can do scents and Wolverine can't smell her. Who knows?
Yeah, how much was he at smelling her last time? Was he? I don't remember him bringing up that. I guess he did one time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
All right. So anyway, Jean gets the thing, but then her powers start to overwhelm, and she can kind of hear everybody's inner monologues, including Rogue's, who's not happy to be there, including Kurtz is trying to egg her on. Other people in the audience are just confused because she seems to have frozen. She knocks over the table using her powers.
Mm-hmm.
At the entrance.
I want to.
Oh, stay cool, Gene. Don't get stressed. Come on, you can do it. Oh man, is she freezing up?
Glad that's not me up there.
Yeah, after knocking over the table, she knocks the head off the statue. She makes a joke about losing her head there for a minute, to which the audience laughs.
It was kind of an intense scene.
A little bit. Everybody was a little shocked.
All those a telepath being overwhelmed scenes are kind of crazy.
I like that Scott matched his glasses to his shirt today.
He did, didn't he?
Very well at Gordon.
And his hair.
Yeah, we see everyone a little worried about Jean after what happened. Jean's sort of thinking about it. Her going back with Scott. I'm not sure if it's here she mentions it, but maybe it's later. It's later. I think she mentions she's going to a party.
Skateboarding will never be a school sport.
We're living behind the times, man.
She mentions she's asked Scott if he's going to this party. Scott didn't know about it. She was invited by the football Duncan, the football star.
Or actually, as Scott would say, Duncan.
Yes, Duncan. Then we see Avalanche hitting on Kitty.
Yep.
And then we meet the new chemistry teacher, who's also the gym teacher.
Because remember, they're all buddies from the Cauldron.
Yes, they seem to have buddied up a little bit. But I don't know. Is that going to stay? Are they like just good guys now? Avalanche and Blob and Toad and
Well,
Quickie?
considering I accidentally watched the next episode, I don't think it's going to stick.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you got to have conflict, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Maybe just like, but who knows? I mean, that their whole relationship might continue though. Like these two seem to like each other.
Yeah, for sure. Seems like it's heading that way. We meet the new chemistry teacher slash gym teacher, Professor McCoy.
Jim and something. What are they in now? Chemistry.
Chemistry. I assume. You're actually making a stink bomb.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Hank McCoy makes his entrance.
You ever make a stink bomb?
Well, no, but Blob makes them all the time in his sleep. If you get my drift.
If you get his drift.
And she laughs at
you
this
get the
ridiculous joke. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, she does. She just because she likes him though.
Yes, well, Scott's on edge because he didn't get invited to the party.
But actually, they can't be all buddies. Remember that last episode? What he did was crazy. Oh, they erased everyone's minds. Everyone forgets that he did that.
Yeah, but did they erase kitties in their minds too?
That wouldn't be very nice.
Well, so nice to do it anyway, Charles.
That's a good question, though. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for evidence of the answer.
So anyway, Scott's upset that he didn't get invited to the party. We see some of the other X-Men hanging around. We see Bobby making a ballerina out of ice to impress Jubilee, which Scott slips on when he comes out, which is great because there's an ice bath with Bobby. He gets. I love that. That's a great. That's a great shot. That's a great Frozen shot.
This episode is pretty funny.
Yeah. So then he gets in his car and storms off.
Hey, Scott, you got a remedy for stink bomb aroma?
Oh, yeah, isolation.
He gets in his fancy car and goes off to the party. We see Rogue drinking. It looks like a bottle of vodka, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be water.
Yeah.
Scott gets to the party, and starts having a ping pong match with Duncan. Gets pretty aggressive because they're both being all macho and trying to be man one up one another. Yep. Jean's power.
Are you a ping pong player, Andre?
I mean, I've played it before. I don't remember last time I played it. Are you?
I do enjoy some ping pong.
A pong or two? A ping or two?
I'll pong it.
I mean, if you want to quote my gym teacher in high school, table tennis and ping pong are not the same thing. Table tennis is tennis, like the plate on the table with the rackets, and ping pong was a game sold by Milton Bradley, which went on top of your kitchen table. It's just a net. So they're different games.
As often as I do quote your gym teacher from high school,
Mr. DeGushy.
I would have to disagree with him.
Oh, is it Mr. DeCoste? Mr. DeCoste. You're not going to argue with Mr. DeCoste, are you? That guy had a mullet and short shorts, and he was good at a lot of sports.
He was a gym teacher then, was he?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Didn't really like wrestling. He let us know about that at the time, like professional wrestling, but I showed him.
You showed them all.
I did. I showed the world. Soon they'll all die. I mean, realize their mistake. So Jean's power started working overtime again. Scott tries to assist her. She knocks him off the balcony. He falls to a seeming doom, but she manages to stop him before he hits the water and then drop him the last foot when she's surprised by Duncan. Duncan leans over and yells at Summers, asks what he's doing. He says, check in the pool's chlorine levels. Which I thought was a funny message.
That was pretty funny.
Where I'm from, people like me never party with people like them.
Yeah, that's right. So Rogue, of course, is once again playing her little emo card and staying on her own thing. Jean's upset with Scott for trying to, horn his way not horn his way, she invited him to the party, but getting all macho with Duncan. He's also wet from falling in the pool. Wolverine has very little to do in this episode, but kind of come out and get an apple or an orange with his claws and make a comment about everyone says he doesn't follow the rules when everybody else is out late and doing other crazy stuff.
I'm impressed though, especially actually, whereas this is coming out after the movie, that they're not using Wolverine as a crutch and making him the main character, because they're really
not in this episode,
not in the show so far.
Yeah, not really. I mean, he has fought Sabretooth in 4 separate episodes of the show. Or 5, I think, in the first season. So out of 10 episodes.
Let's
out of 10 episodes, half of them consult Sabretooth fights with Wolverine.
Is there a Wolverine versus Sabretooth scorecard? Wolverine's supposed to have a 2 next to his name. Wolverine's down 3-2 right now to Sabretooth.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sabretooth is all powered up in one of them. So all amped up on juice.
True.
All juiced up.
Yep. And Wolverine doesn't get points for his homies coming in and laying in the boots.
They have a little bit of this old... Yeah, it's true. They have a little bit of an altercation where Rogue, doesn't seem to fit in all these party things.
No.
So
she's growing on me, though. I like this Rogue. A lot of these characters are growing on me.
Scott and Duncan are still being overly competitive. Duncan elbows Scott off the track, knocks his glasses off. Hank tells him to keep his eyes closed and hands him his glasses, giving a slight indication that Hank knows about Scott's abilities. Obviously, we know the X-Men, so we know who Hank is. So he obviously has some connection to Professor X and knows about Scott already, but Scott doesn't know that, so he's a little surprised.
I don't know this, but I assume Charles sent him in as a plant after all that Mystique business. And
possibly.
School. And maybe he knows about Kelly, if you think Kelly's going to be a bad guy.
Yes. Jean's stuff starts acting up, and then a javelin goes flying, but it's actually Avalanche uses powers to stop it from hurting someone, which is
super heroic move.
Yeah, I know. And then the ball
I like this Avalanche too, except for he kind of went crazy last episode.
Oh, he's tired of hiding. He's a teenager too.
Foyer, where everyone forgets their manners and just stares at you.
I love that.
We see Kelly, one of the things to get thrown during her attack through the window of his office. This is the old flag right here in the corner. So Jean's, of course, her powers are out of whack. They bring her back to the X Mansion, and Professor X uses powers to go into her mind and try to help her deal with it. Yeah, so they get Charles has trouble reaching her because her powers are getting out of whack. So the X-Men suit up and go in to try to help her, but her powers are actually her telekinetic powers. There's a line in this episode, maybe you have it, where they say that she's using her telepathy to rearrange reality.
I didn't grab that one, but yeah,
it's like, that's insane. You can just do anything now.
Who gave you permission to go into my head?
That's right. Jean accidentally reads Rogue's mug because Rogue says the snappy thing in her brain, and then she answers, and Rogue gets upset. So the kids go in. Spike uses.
But this is so much better than the Fox Phoenix movie, where it's just like Jean's just getting all evil. Like Jean's.
This isn't even the Phoenix yet. There's no mention of that. I
know.
Maybe it is. To that.
But maybe it is. Maybe
they never get to the Phoenix in this show, do they?
I don't think so.
I know you better than anyone ever has or ever will.
Yeah, it's a bit familiar considering that she's not even dating him. She's out with Duncan. But anyway, we get Spike comes in with his useless skateboard powers, and then the rest of them.
Yeah, I know. His skateboard powers are pretty funny.
Rogue suggests using her powers to take Jean's abilities away to stop what's going on. She manages to do so, but Jean's still in Rogue's head now, and Scott has that speech to her, which is kind of still the love triangle thing a little bit, widening that. But then Rogue feels a bit more connected to Jean after helping her get over her issues, and her and Scott have a nice relationship.
Me
and
and this
Jean,
popularity there, we're worlds apart. Galaxies. But then I realized something.
What?
That she'd do the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
isn't that a nice lesson?
Yeah. This is a good episode.
Yeah. Then
That's
she
what
gets-
I like about you, Scott.
All right.
You know, that's
Well,
what I like
oh,
about you.
Hold on. I got ahead of you there.
That's all right. Scott brings her flowers and tells her the truth, which is the honest thing, that they're from Duncan. And they have a little bit of a flirtatious exchange, but nothing too heavy. And yeah, it seems
That's
like
what
we're
I
heading
like
towards
about you,
relationship.
Scott. You know me better than anyone ever has or ever will.
Yeah, if you friend zone a guy and then tell him that's pretty rough. Like,
Maybe he's out of the zone.
maybe Scott's like, I might be getting laid. Boom, wow. But anyway, that's the end of the episode. I know they're all teenagers, so I'll retract that statement. And yeah, back to square one.
All right. Ratings from 1 to X. You first.
I mean, it's a fine episode. There's some fun stuff in it, but it's not, I don't know. Once again, the stakes are so low. They're so low, these stakes. The stakes are low. It's just like, you get a garden salad or a soup level of stakes.
I don't know. Gene messing with reality is some stake.
Fair enough. There are some leanings towards the Phoenix thing. We didn't get that. So let's, for audio listeners, Davin is just strangling his cat. That's what the noise is. Yeah, you can't see it, but
get back here, Lulu. I'm not
he's
done with you.
He's an angry man, that Devin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know, 7, 8. Let's go with 8. I guess for as far as the show's been, it's been pretty solid. So let's go with 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Pretty good stuff, yeah. The characters are growing on me. This one, like I say, this one did have a bit more stakes. Like that scene with Gene kind of messing with reality was pretty intense.
Yeah, it's cool.
So was the intro with her hearing everybody's thoughts and stuff. It's a classic trope. It's a classic X-Men trope where it's just the telepath being overwhelmed, or especially Gene. It's a Gene Grey trope, really. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
But they did it well. I'm glad it wasn't the Phoenix.
Yeah, well, it's a nod to it. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention that Charles says that they found a way to sort of keep her powers in check. They're gonna work. He's gonna work with her to make sure that keeps happening. So we got that.
Uncanny X points. All right, what do we got here? All right. Well, my first one is, we got this new beast, and he sort of lays a bit of a beastism on us. It's a bit different, but
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things.
So I'm looking forward to see what this beast is like. It's going to be hard to follow George Booza. But
Tennyson.
I hope this beast drops a Tennyson.
Tennyson. Well, the beast is also quoting, literary works. This one a little more known than some of the other ones that Beast has spouted, but yeah, he's out there doing his thing, doing his beastisms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To you.
No. Oh, right. Sorry, Uncanny X points. Well, I'll make it that. So the are you familiar? Do you know what poem he's quoting?
The one, no.
It's the Walrus and the Walrus and the Carpenter by Lewis Carroll. It appears in Through the Looking Glass, the sequel.
That's a great song by a local band here back in the day too.
Oh, really? Well, I'm sure that's probably where they got it from.
I'm sure it was. It was about that. That song was about the Mythbusters.
It's pretty long, but let's see if I can find the exact segment. He says, "The time has come." I'm familiar with like the nonsense poems that Lewis Carroll wrote specifically the Jabberwocky, which is one I always really liked.
That's a good one too.
But it's actually a fairly long poem. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story about these walrus that leads these oysters to eating them, like by pretending that it's a cautionary tale, but one that's the way that most of those things are, like those old song poems or songs or whatever, like Aesop's fables. If you read the actual fables instead of what a lot of the fairy tales we know of them are, they're quite dark, and this is one as well. But it's sort of meant to be a political sort of allegory about stuff going on in the world when Lewis Carroll wrote it. So it's very interesting. Check out the full poem if you like the works of Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll. All right, my next one. Cyclops' glasses at school. Nobody ever mentions it. None of the other kids, none of the teachers. He just wears his sunglasses all the time.
You say he has an eye condition.
I guess so, but then they're pole vaulting in this episode, and he's still wearing his sunglasses, and they don't fall off while he's pole vaulting. There's just a lot of questions I have about the sunglasses. Because they don't seem to be elastic strapped on or anything like that. They just seem to be sitting on his ears. And pole vaulting with sunglasses on is pretty impressive. Maybe his best superpower.
Yeah, I guess so. Glued to his head. They fall off, though, and he gets elbowed off the racing track. So,
yeah. If you just bump into him, it's like, oh, no.
All right, back to me. Sorry. Kitty Pryde's old school bully, Sydney White, makes an appearance at the racetrack. So you kind of see her. You kind of see her in the background when they're running around the racetrack. Thought that was an interesting little note.
All right. Well, my next one is, this episode sort of has Carrie vibes in a way, but it's I call this episode "What If Carrie Was Popular."
That's fair enough. Probably wouldn't have killed everyone at the prom.
Probably not. She would have been the queen of the prom. All right, episode. Well, there's a note, I guess, about the next episode here, which you would know. So maybe I'll bring that up later after we watch the next episode. Yeah. So I noticed Bobby tries to impress Jubilee by creating a spinning ballerina out of ice. It's very similar to the movie where Bobby makes an ice rose that he gives to Rogue. I thought that was an interesting little nod to the movie, probably, or if it's just coincidence, it's a hell of a similar connection. It's for Jubilee this time, though. Yes. How familiar? My next one. How familiar are you with stink bombs? I know of them. I know they exist. I've never made one. No, I never made one either. But people used to. But remember those ones you could buy? Oh yeah. I feel like in my school, someone must have thrown one or did something with one at one point. Oh man, people used to break those off in the school all the time. They were gross. That's your explain. Hey man, remember stink bombs? Oh yeah. Yeah, man. They stink up the whole hallway. Oh yeah. All right. My next point is back in the days. Those of you who are old enough to remember the glory days where you didn't have the internet, you couldn't watch these things whenever you wanted on streaming. You had to go either take them off TV, and if you couldn't do that, you had to buy a compilation VHS tape or DVD. This episode, along with Growing Pains and Bada Bing, Bada Boom, and Fun and Games, were all included on a DVD called X-Men Evolution Mutants Rising. So this is all. Those 4 episodes were part of a set you could buy on DVD. When I was a kid, I would save up my birthday money to go spend $20 probably at the time to buy a VHS of a Power Rangers episode. One episode on that VHS. They had that for X-Men TAS episodes. Yeah, they had a set out where each of the Power Rangers were one was the Black Ranger, one was the pink, one was the yellow.
And I think I remember buying the Blue Rangers one, which he fought that pig with the little Spartan helmet on. I used to watch it a lot. I wonder where that went. My mom might still have it.
I had like a few individual Star Trek episodes. I guess it was amazing when you look back at it.
I know how much you spend on like one episode,
and how much space everything took up.
Oh God! I mean, I collect Blu-rays, and they still take up a lot of space.
Do you have Blu-rays of series?
Oh yeah.
Now imagine in your mind all those were VHS single episodes. How much space would you need?
Oh Jesus! Well, I mean, you think about it, most seasons had, like the X-Files, for instance, most seasons were like 24 episodes. So 24 VHS tapes would be one season.
Sometimes those like longer episodes were 2 VHS.
Yeah. Or like I remember when I was a kid watching Scarface on VHS, and it was 2 VHSs. You have to stop it right around the time he got the tiger in his own personal zoo was where you stop the tape when you turn the next one up.
Right, you're up. My last one. Well, you know what? Beast would be a great sports coach. That's my next X point. He's smart. He's athletic. He's encouraging and witty and funny. Like, what a great sports coach. He'd be one of those coaches that people talk about when they get older and be like that he was a life-changing coach for them, until he turns evil. But until Beast turns evil. But that Beast is dead, and now we have Happy Beast back. So.
Oh, Evil the Beast died?
Well, it's off camera, but so who knows?
I think it's in a comic. There's no camera.
I think he's just turning into Dark Beast. But we also have Happy Beast back from Defenders.
What, like old past Beat Man continuity sort to keep up with?
Yeah, they reset Beast a bit.
That's funny. All right. My last point. I want to use this for the next episode. I ran out of stuff. At the beginning of this episode, Jean's power surge caused her to lose balance and knock the head off her soccer MVP trophy. This explains why in the next episode, or in the episode Mainstream, later on down the line, where Kelly learns that she has powers, he takes the trophy out of the trophy case. So a little thing that gets that's a thread that connects later on down the episode.
Okay.
Hey, check it.
You go first.
I go first. I'm gonna do a book instead of a comic this time.
All right. This is check it, our comic reminiscences
and
recommendations.
When I was on vacation, I read 3 books. One of them was this one, which seems like something our fans would probably like. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. This is the first book of 7 that are currently out. He self-published them, so they're these little paperback versions, and then I think he sold the rights to Ace Books to print these really nice big hardcover editions. So this is the first one. I'm a little over halfway through the second one right now, and they're really, really fun. Great read, surprisingly emotional at times, considering it seems pretty bubblegum when you first look at the concept, but it's well done and fun. It reminds me a little bit of like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, not quite as heady as that, or as clever, but if you like easy reads that are fun and will actually make you laugh out loud a few times, which this has done, then it's well worth it.
It's pretty thick for a...
Yeah, it's only number 1 of 7. But it's about a guy, a former Navy or Coast Guard guy who he has an ex-girlfriend. Him and his girlfriend break up because she's on vacation. He sees Instagram pictures of her with another guy, breaks up with her over the phone. But he still has her cat, which is a show cat that she takes to cat shows. And the cat's name is Princess Donut. And the cat gets out one night, he goes out after it, and then every single thing with a roof, so any building, home, house, car, tent, they all suck into the ground, and everybody that was in them is dead. And the people that are left in the world that weren't inside when this happened are offered a chance to either survive in this wasteland without any buildings, and in this guy's case, it's freezing. It's like the middle of winter, and he's only like in a coat with his underwear on. and no shoes or anything, and or they can compete in a game, which happens. Apparently, these aliens see the universe with life, and then when technology gets to a certain point, they wipe out a lot of the people with one of these ways. Use all the resources they mine to make a game for the rest of the universe. So the game is called Dungeon Crawler, where people that are left alive have to work. It basically a real life RPG game. Where you have to work and it's all televised for the galaxy where they watch, and you have to work your way down. Yeah, but like you're fighting monsters, you get weapons, armor, you get upgrades to your own body. You can change the species you are later on if you want to. You have an inventory that's way bigger. If you can lift anything up for 4 seconds, you can put it in your inventory. So you can have an inventory that's like full of massive amount of things you can never carry on your own. You get quests, you get missions. There are other people in the dungeon that you can either align with or fight for or fight against. And you get quests. You have to be giant bosses, and you have a timeline to make it down to the next level. There are 18 levels. Currently, I believe they're on the 3rd level in the 2nd book, so they're working their way down. At one point early on, he gets a special box. So you get loot crates and monsters. And one of them is an upgrade for his cat, which when the cat eats it, it becomes super intelligent. So the cat can talk now, and the cat actually is a higher level than him. So it's actually the cat
can talk.
Yeah. Yes, you can. But this one can speak English, and the cat is a higher level because of the upgrades. The cat doesn't become a pet anymore; it becomes an actual crawler like him. And the cat is actually you have parties. Similar to those RPG systems, and since the cat is the highest level, the cat's actually in charge of the party. So yeah, it's fun. They get they meet other people, other creatures. They run afoul of other crawlers, and there's some funny little gags in it. Like there's an AI that sort of runs the machine, and the AI becomes kind of it has a foot fetish for him, so it it refuses to let him find shoes or anything that would cover his feet. And it keeps giving him upgrades that let him stomp or kick or do things with his feet that are more powerful. So he has to rely on those attacks when he's fighting and stuff. It's ridiculous, but it's really, really fun. And I heard they're making a TV show of it. Hopefully they do it some justice. But it's it's good.
Sounds nuts.
I suggest it. Check it out. Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Well, mine is
He's gone.
Can you still hear me? All right.
Yeah, you do.
I think I've almost certainly recommended this one before, but the episode of Spider-Man we're about to review a little bit reminded me of it. Spider-Man Big Time. This one also has Spider-Man join in group of smart people. In this case, it's Max Modell.
Horizon Labs.
Think tank, yeah. But Dan Slott, Humberto Ramos doing Spider-Man. What else you want?
Yeah, I love Humberto Ramos as Spider-Man.
Yeah, oh yeah, it works so good. He draws him all weird and gangly. Makes him look like a spider. And his goblins are really good too. I love the way he draws
Oh yeah, the Goblin King and the Hobgoblin looked really cool in that.
Yeah, Big Time. Check it out. It's funny. Spider-Man on his first day, Peter ends up in no pants. He's like, yeah, I do my best thinking with no pants. They're like, well, you're at a professional setting there, son. He's like, oh, sorry, won't do that again. But Spider-Man Big Time. Check it out if you haven't read it. You should, because it's one of the best.
But I like movies, which is fine.
All right, Visual Club.
Any movies you like, Andre?
I feel like I may have mentioned this one before. If not, and I forgot, forgive me, but it's been a long time if so. So this is a movie about someone with psychic powers that get a little out of hand. And, a lot of horrible things happen because of it. Made me think of the Canadian David Cronenberg classic, Scanners.
Oh, Scanners.
It's a great movie about people with psychic powers called Scanners. who can attack people with their minds. In one particularly gory instance, make one guy's head explode on national television.
It's kind of a legendary scene.
It's one of the best head explosions in cinema. But this particular set is from Criterion. It's the Blu-ray set of Scanners, which has some really cool artwork, including the front page. In the back with Stephen Lack's character. Yeah, it's a really cool movie. About, and oddly enough, I should have grabbed the things for this. I've always been enamored with wanting to do the idea of another podcast, but I have way too much on my plate already. Called Series to Series, where you watch every part of a film series. So, like, say if you did Bond, you'd have to watch all of them. But if we did Scanners, for instance, there's the original Scanners, which is this one. And then there are 2 sequels, Scanners 2 and 3, which Cronenberg had nothing to do with. But there's also a side series called Scanner Cop, about a cop with scanner powers and who has his own adventures. And there's 2 of those. So in total, there are 5 Scanner films, one of which is the only one that Cronenberg endorsed and made, and the others that are kind of...
Surely he disavowed himself of
Scanner. 100%. Scanners 2 and 3 and Scanner Cop. But they're out there, and I'm sure they might have some redeeming factors on their own. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a good concept for a podcast.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun because, like, some of the series, like especially like The Land Before Time, because you get like the first major one, and then 14 like direct to VHS sequels. So there's some interesting stuff in there.
I'm Peter Parker. How about you?
Kick his ass, Seabass!
Did you figure out why that's in there yet?
Is the guy who did that's voice one of these characters?
No.
Why are you saying
Welcome to Webheads, everybody.
Who's Seabass? Hey, why Seabass? Tell me.
So in the first episode, when those 2 guys are trying to beat up Harry in the alley.
Oh yeah.
And they're like live streaming it, and all those people are like commenting.
Oh, one of them said kick his ass, Seabass?
One of the commenters says kick his ass, Seabass, with a heart emoji, which I thought
pretty
was
great.
Hilarious.
I didn't know that. That's really funny.
Yeah, great nod. Maybe that's why I was higher on that first episode than you. I'm like, that's the start of it. I'm like, this is pretty great references. I love doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, kick his ass, Seabass.
Kick his ass, Seabass. Very nice.
The gentleman over there offered to buy our meal. It's really very
nice. I saw the movie once. They charged it and they took off. Yeah, and they got away with it in the movie. No, they caught up with them about a mile down the road and slit the throats. It's pretty gross.
Pull over, I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Nope. Great movie.
So good. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's classic.
All right. Well, let's talk about Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Episode 2, The Parker Luck, a classic Spider-Man concept.
Yeah, good episode.
Directed by Liza Singer and written by Charlie Nooner. Mm-hmm.
Really? Nooner?
Nope, Neuner.
Oh, so it's not like a real Nooner.
Sounds like German.
Are you familiar with the term Nooner?
Like, is in noon of the day?
Yeah. But what the term Nooner means?
No.
Our young, naive little Devin here doesn't understand.
I know.
It's the term for having sex in the middle of the day. They call it a Nooner.
Oh. Well.
You ever have a Nooner, Dev?
Morning person. Definitely.
You got kids, it's probably the best time before they're up.
Mm-hmm. Before they're up. Noon?
No. I meant you said the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You said you're more of a morning person.
I am more of a morning.
We're learning a lot about Devin and his sexual habits here. I hope you guys are all thinking
that. I guess so. I could have been talking about anything. I could have been talking about coffee. I like my coffee in the morning.
That's not what the subject was.
So, what do you think of this episode? I thought it was pretty great.
The show has totally turned me around. I dug it before, okay, but now that it's opened up and we're getting to see all the fun stuff, and it's not just him being in a shitty Spider-Man suit for 8 episodes having teen drama for the whole thing, which he still has, but that's always part of Spider-Man.
But not much. Not like the whole like I want this girl to like me. There was a bit of that, but now it's more like.
Well, it really seems like Nico loves him more. I thought she was a lesbian character. She is in the comics, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she made a note about the girl that Peter had a crush on in the first episode, how she did too. So I kind of assumed they were more of a friend, and maybe it is just a friend thing, but it does seem like she has feelings for him.
It does sort of, doesn't it? I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
see her start doing some magic.
I guess we're only talking about episode 2, so let's just stick on that one. This is the one where
Parker Luck.
I don't know, like why did they make a new character called Butane? Why didn't they call him Scorcher? They already have a guy that shoots flames in the Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. At first, I was like, "Is this supposed to be like some fire version of Shocker or something?" Like, what's
no? There's a
going
guy
on
who's
here?
called
Like,
Scorcher. Remember that the Untold Tales of Spider-Man comic where like
yeah,
was in that.
those are good ones.
He was
With the
he was in
Rhino issue and. Like,
oh no, that's Tangled Web. Tangled Web was the one.
Web.
Tangled Web was the one where each story they had like disassociated stories that were about different characters of the Spider-Man universe. But the
the Untold Tales. Yeah, I remember.
Those were like all about his adding extra adventures to happen after he became Spider-Man, like in his first year of Spider-Man. But they introduced a villain called the Scorcher. He had a big dome head and he shot flames.
Okay.
He was like a pretty much Firefly from or Firebug from Batman, but
that part was odd.
Yes. And then so that was cool. We saw all the Amadeus Cho and all these other characters that have showed up in
Asha from Wakanda.
Yeah. We also saw Jeanne Foucault, who's known as Finesse in Avengers Academy. So that's an interesting character. Bentley Whitman, who is the Wizard, as you may notice.
I loved it. He's so good too. He's so good. I can't wait for him to like break real bad and just. He's so horrible to.
I thought it was funny that they snuck the Wizard in as that character, especially the fact that Paul F. Tompkins does this voice, who is a cool voice actor and comedian. He did the voice of Mr. Peanut Butter on BoJack Horseman, and I really like that character in that show. We also meet Carla Connors, so they've gender swapped Kirk Connors into a female this time, which is cool. She seems like a nice character. I'm curious to see where they go with that. I love that
like slagging old
Wizard.
There.
I love that the flamethrower guy, the Butane, was burning a buildings. He was paid to destroy a derelict building so that they collect the insurance, they could rebuild. But then he's burning the wrong building. He got his address wrong. So, but he made sure nobody was in the building before he torched it, so he's not the worst of criminals.
Like, I'm not a monster. He's like,
we do see
freaking Bentley though. It's like I have to be hard on you kids so you'll perform. He's just,
yeah. Very, very much in the Whiplash hard love way of teaching you how to do better. So, if you've never seen the movie Whiplash, check that movie out. It's really, really
good. I haven't seen that.
You should watch it. It's very good.
All right.
Yeah, and then of course, Norman offers Peter a job impressed by his skills and his work, and then Norman finds out at the end of the episode that Peter's Spider-Man because stupidly he changed in the stairwell of a giant office building. Of course, there's security cameras everywhere, and so he sees him change on security. And it's funny because I was like, well, this comes up in the third episode, but I was like, well, wouldn't the security guards all know he's Spider-Man as well? But then they do particularly make a point of letting you know that it was Norman's personal security cameras only he sees, which means where are those security cameras in the building? Does he have them in the bathroom? Norman?
Not every bathroom.
Just the female ones, huh?
No.
But after seeing all the characters in the show, there's a lot of Spider-Man lore characters that are getting sprinkled throughout the show, and other greater Marvel characters. They even tie into the Civil War thing. There's lots of
Speed Demon, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and she is the Tarantula, his girlfriend. A gender swap version of her. Yeah,
I was trying to figure her out.
We get Matt Gargan, who is obviously before he gets his costume, but he's there. We get the Unicorn. We get early.
Yeah, that's a gender swapped Unicorn too.
Yeah, and we get the pre-Rhino and the pre-Chameleon. All the people, all those Russians are the Rhino, the Chameleon, and Unicorn. Oh, and the other one, I'm not sure who she is. She has a different name too.
Like they give you like a a fair bit of character stuff, even with these minor characters, like even
Yeah.
Rhino so far and stuff.
Yeah, Dr. Octopus is cool. I really like him.
Oh,
His voice
Dr.
acting's
Octopus
great.
is so cool. This is like the best Doc Ock we've ever
I love how
gotten.
he like he's the only one I think in this whole show that actually looks exactly like he does in the
Yeah.
comics.
And
That
he's
is very cool.
amazing. I love it. I can't wait to see more of that Doc Ock. Like he's like the big villain. He's the symbol they're finding on all the
Yeah.
the tech.
Well, he's providing them with all the tech.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
It's like he gives her the tech. She's like, well, it completely mimics and remembers all movement that you see and all this stuff. And he's like, and shoots lasers.
Yes, and she's really happy with the laser. Also, we got Carmilla Black, the female Scorpion, in the Scorpions gang, which is cool. So yeah, there's all kinds of little. You remember
so
she had her
many.
own comic for a while. She's like she's an Amazing Fantasy like 16 or something where they brought her out.
Didn't she date Matt Gargan or something?
No, that's the Electro, the female Electro.
Oh right, yeah. Right.
Yeah. She was
Well,
like,
it's a good episode.
It was when Matt Gargan became Venom, and then they had to find a new Scorpion, and they made this new female Scorpion for a while.
It should be criminal to make Lonnie Lincoln this likable, just to have him have this huge downfall and become.
Well, they're really giving him like
Man.
a Breaking Bad style trip into badness. Like at first he's all really altruistic and nice and making little concessions until eventually he's basically in too far, which is kind of where we're at now.
It's a pretty great arc though so far.
Well, I mean, I knew where it was going. His name's Lonnie
Me
Lincoln.
too. But absolutely. But the way they're doing it, like it's fairly organic.
Yeah, no, I dig it. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
And the next episode is called Duel with the Devil, which I'm guessing introduces Daredevil, which is fun. So,
ooh, that's fun. How many episodes is there going to be?
10 in total.
Well, we'll be talking about it here for 10 weeks anyway.
That's all right.
So we'll take her one episode at a time. It's weird how they're dropping 2 and then 3 and whatever. Oh, look, they're dropping 3 next time too, and then 2 more, and that's the end.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have a show.
Cool.
I just finished up the second season of Squid Game as well, which I always suggest if you like that show.
Well, I haven't seen it.
That's really good.
Tiffany's playing the video of the phone game right now, I think.
Is a Squid Game phone game?
I think so.
Interesting.
Well, that was Webheads. Yeah. Farewell to Webheads, not welcome to Webheads. So, yeah, good show. Can't wait to see the rest of it. And I highly suggest you all watch it if you're not watching it.
Yeah. Also, some fun other comic stuff. They just had a new teaser trailer out for Thunderbolts. They came showed at the Super Bowl, which looks really cool.
Oh, I haven't seen the new teaser, but I am looking forward to that movie.
Well, they very much show. You don't see him in costume, but it's very apparent that the Sentry and the Void are the villains.
Oh, they show the Void?
Well, the Black Shadow thing that's going across the city.
That group of characters cannot beat the Void. Like the Void is just gonna mow through every one of those characters.
Well, I'm sure they'll find a way.
No, I'm sure. Like maybe I don't know. They gotta have an ace up their sleeve. I think there's.
Well, of course. I don't think it's going to end with them all getting murdered.
Maybe it'll be Red Hulk.
It just ends with them dying.
Mm.
It'd be interesting. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if like Punisher or like Deadpool or somebody joined the team.
Yeah, they need somebody more high powered to fight the.
Well, do you remember when they did that like whole other version of them for a little while? Where it was like Red Hulk, Punisher, Deadpool, Elektra.
Yeah, I collected that.
Oh, and Agent Venom,
and Red Leader.
Right. Yeah, everybody's got to be red. Once they make one person red, everybody's got to be red.
Yeah, because the whole comics color scheme was red. Like they made
they made it, and then they all like even. Red. Which is like the Red Skull, which is kind of dumb, but
he had a phase.
Yeah, he toyed with Nazism.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, what's the homework?
Wait, you're forgetting your homework.
Watch episode 3 of season 2, Bada Bing, Bada Boom. I don't know anything about this episode because I forgot to look it up.
Directed by Stephen E. Gordon.
Ooh.
I know
Yes, as
everything
mentioned.
about it because I watched it and did most of the prep for the show next week already.
Well, good. Be sure to remember it.
It's a good
Bada
one.
Bing, Bada Boom, X-Men Evolution. Let's see what happens in
alert for
Bada
next
Bing,
week.
Bada Boom. We meet Boom Boom.
Yeah, it's a Boom Boom episode.
Ah, interesting. Looks like we get all the X-Men back. We meet a new X-Men. That's fun. Boom Boom's such a dumb fucking name for.
It's the best name. Well, actually, I could spoil an X point. Yeah, I will. I'll spoil an X point for next week. You're a big Warren Ellis fan. Warren Ellis.
You can talk about Agents of Hate or Next Wave?
Yes, Next Wave. He chose Boom Boom for Next Wave because
Specifically because their name is dumb.
No, because it's the greatest name of all superheroes.
They made a joke where Boom Boom, Fing Fang Foom puts Boom Boom down his pants and says, I have Boom Boom in my pants. It was a joke that was made in Next Wave. Probably he put her in the team just for that only.
He said she has the best superhero name ever.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It is. Well, you can support our show at patreon.com/X-Men Review Show. Get merch over there at the redbubble.com/people/X-Men Review Show/shop. Contact us at X-Men Review Show X-Men Review Show at gmail.com or find us on the Facebooks or the YouTubes. We're on Twitch, but don't message us there. We'll never get it. Find our audio-only version wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, check out our whole federation over there at ufpodcasts.com. Andre.
Yeah.
Tell me, Andre. Tell me.
The Graphic Histories Podcast.
Yeah. New episode drops Monday. The part 2 of my talk with Mark Oakley came out today. Check that out. We're gonna go play some bocce ball with Mark. Davin's in for the bocce ball. Have you played bocce ball before?
Just once.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different parts of Europe. They all have their version of that. Like they had bowls in England, and France has a version of like throwing a ball around. It's all similar, but all different.
Yeah. Next week's episode is with Jason Strutz, who was a really cool comic book artist. He's doing his own book called The Returned. We did some work for Full Moon Entertainment. She made like a lot of Charlie Band's company that made like all the Puppet Master movies. He did some comics for them and role playing game art and stuff. Really cool guy. Then the episode after that's with Dan McDade, British comic book artist, currently just finished up working on Shazam for DC. Really, that chat is super fun. He's a super fun guy.
I thought it would be.
We got along like a house on fire. We had a really good chat. We talked about a lot of stuff.
I'm looking forward to that one.
And then after that, we have Barbara Randall Kessel on the show.
Oh, very good.
Talk with her about she's an editor for DC, a writer as well for many years, mostly as an editor. Did a lot of cool work in comics, and got her start by writing a 10-page letter to Dan Giordano or Dick Giordano at DC about how women aren't represented well enough in comics or given enough stories.
So he hired her. Be like, well,
so he hired her.
Very good.
Interesting story, and you can get all that by checking out that episode in 3 weeks' time.
Those are all the kinds of stories you can get over there on the Graphic Histories podcast.
Artistic interviews, as they say in the little intro.
Artistic. I'll play that one on the way out.
I was going to say, we don't play that one very often.
Well, because it needs to be updated. Like it doesn't have heard noise, must investigate. Or, hey, did you see this one? Oh, yeah, it does have that one on there. Well, I'm going to play it out this time. How about that? But yeah, looking forward to that McDade one. He seems like quite the character.
For sure.
All right. Well,
They thought like a team, they played like a team, and they respected each other as teammates.
Exactly. Catch you next time.
Next time.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.